A rectangular prism measures 5 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 3 centimeters. Find the surface area of the prism. Here, we're given the dimensions of a rectangular prism. To get a better idea of what this rectangular prism looks like, let's begin by first just drawing this prism. Now notice, the problem did not specify which two dimensions were the dimensions of our base. Since we're talking about a rectangular prism though, it doesn't matter. We can pick any two of the dimensions to be the dimensions of our base. So let's go ahead and pick 5 centimeters and 10 centimeters to be the dimensions of our base. That means this rectangular prism has a height of 3 centimeters. So we have a rectangular prism that looks something like this. We said our height was 3 centimeters and our base was 5 centimeters by 10 centimeters. Now we're trying to find the surface area of this rectangular prism. In other words, we need to find the area of all 6 of our surfaces and add them together. So how do we find the area of all 6 of our surfaces? To get a better idea of what this prism looks like, let's go ahead and take a look at the net of this rectangular prism. In other words, if we unfolded this rectangular prism, what would it look like? If we took our rectangular prism, unfolded it, and looked at it from the top down, it would look something like this. This is the net of our rectangular prism. If we're looking at this from the top down, that means this rectangle right here is the top rectangle. If this is the top rectangle, notice the top rectangle has dimensions 10 centimeters by 5 centimeters. So, 10 centimeters by 5 centimeters. If this is the top rectangle, that means this rectangle here must be the bottom rectangle. So let's go ahead and label that. This is the bottom rectangle. Notice the bottom rectangle has dimensions 10 centimeters by 5 centimeters. Those are the same dimensions as the top rectangle. So we have 10 centimeters by 5 centimeters. Now we have the top and the bottom labeled. We need the front, the back, and the 2 sides. Well, if this is the top, this piece right here would be the front rectangle. So this right here is the front rectangle. The front rectangle has dimensions 10 centimeters by 3 centimeters. So this right here is 10 centimeters, and this is 3 centimeters. If this is the front rectangle, this rectangle right here is the back rectangle. So the back rectangle is right here and has dimensions 10 centimeters by 3 centimeters, the same as the front rectangle. Lastly, we have our 2 sides. We have our right side and our left side. The right side would be this side right here. So this rectangle is the right side rectangle. The right side rectangle has dimensions 5 centimeters by 3 centimeters. So this right here would be 3 centimeters. We already have our 5 centimeter side marked. This right here then would be our left side rectangle. So we can go ahead and mark that. The left side rectangle also has dimensions 3 centimeters by 5 centimeters. So 3 centimeters by 5 centimeters. Now that we have all the dimensions labeled on our net, we're going to go ahead and find the area of all 6 of these rectangles. After we find the area of all 6 of these rectangles, we can add them together and we'll get the surface area of our prism. Let's go ahead and do that now. We need to find the area of all 6 of these rectangles. Recall, the formula for the area of a rectangle is equal to the length times the width. Let's begin by first taking a look at the top rectangle. We want the area of the top rectangle. To get that area, we take length times width. So 10 centimeters times 5 centimeters. The area is equal to 10 centimeters times 5 centimeters. If we multiply this out, 10 centimeters times 5 centimeters is equal to 50 centimeters squared. And it's centimeters squared because we have a centimeters here and a centimeters here. So we get centimeters squared. Now that we found the area of the top rectangle, let's go ahead and find the area of the bottom rectangle. So, to find the area of the bottom rectangle, we multiply length times width. Well, that's 10 centimeters by 5 centimeters. Notice these are the same dimensions as the top. So, we also get 50 centimeters squared. Now let's go ahead and find the area of the front and the back rectangles. Let's begin by just looking at the front. Again, to find the area of the front rectangle, we take length times width. Length times width would be 10 centimeters times 3 centimeters. So we get 10 centimeters times 3 centimeters. 10 centimeters times 3 centimeters is equal to 30 centimeters squared. So this is equal to 30 centimeters squared. Now let's go ahead and look at the back. Again, we have 10 centimeters by 3 centimeters. So, to get the area of the back rectangle, we multiply 10 centimeters by 3 centimeters, which is just equal to 30 centimeters squared. Lastly, we have the right and left side rectangles. Let's take a look at the right side first. To get the area of the right side rectangle, we multiply length times width. So 3 centimeters times 5 centimeters. Well, 3 centimeters times 5 centimeters, that's equal to 15 centimeters squared. Lastly, we have the left side rectangle. The area of the left side rectangle is equal to 3 centimeters times 5 centimeters. So, 3 centimeters times 5 centimeters, which is just equal to 15 centimeters squared. Now, we have the area of all 6 of these rectangles. The last thing we need to do is we need to take the area of all these rectangles and add them together. We need to find the sum of all of these areas. Once we do that, we'll have the surface area of this rectangular prism. That means our surface area is just equal to 50 centimeters squared, the area of the top rectangle plus 50 centimeters squared, the area of the bottom rectangle plus 30 centimeters squared, the area of the front rectangle plus 30 centimeters squared, the area of the back rectangle plus 15 centimeters squared, the area of the right side rectangle plus 15 centimeters squared, the area of the left side rectangle. If we add these all together, we get that the surface area is equal to 190 centimeters squared. So, we found that this rectangular prism has a surface area of 190 centimeters squared. So now we know how to find the surface area of a rectangular prism.